Good evening, loves. You know what time it is. It's Friday night. It's time for our daily reading with Coach Kenya. It is also July the 18th. It is my daughter who is in heaven. It's her birthday. Yeah. What? So I'm so humbled to be able to celebrate her memory. Hey, Janice. Hey, Lucy Lou. I don't feel sad. I do wonder what her life would be like. Because she passed when she was 9 months old. So I do wonder what her life would be like. And that means I wonder what my life would be like if she was still living. Yeah. Good evening, Stephanie. How are you? Hey, Terry. Welcome in. Hey, Denise. Yeah. Yeah. So I just have learned that it's not that because it's not I don't cry anymore, but I do miss her. Hi, Tree. Thank you. Hey, C. Hey, TR. I do miss her. Hey, Yesenia. I do miss my daughter a lot because I wonder what she would be like, what her life would be like. I know what my life was like, and I know that it would have been different if my daughter was living. Hey, Josephine. When I was 12, I was taking advantage of and I delivered a baby at 13, and she passed away when she was 9 months old. She was a pretty cool kid. She was kind of like smart because I remember she was like 6 months. She was already crawling. She's a busy little thing. So today we celebrate her memory and all of the possibilities. I'm sure she would have been amazing because her mom's amazing. But I do believe because of her life, it made my life possible. Yeah, her life made my life possible. So I'm so grateful for her memory. Yeah, and I'm grateful for healing and for God giving me an understanding, that gone doesn't mean gone and forgotten doesn't have to be your story. So I never forget her. I always think of her. My daughter's death is one of the reasons why I did eat, and it's how I was able to eat myself to 592 pounds, because part of that eating was directly attributed to the reality that I don't have any living children. Many of my children, sorry, I don't know what that noise was. Okay, anyway, I was pregnant with triplets at one point, but I did lose those as well. So I have some children, but they just happen to be in heaven waiting for their mommy. So I was blessed to help raise my stepdaughter. So I'm blessed to have a stepdaughter and a few four grandchildren, well now 5. So that's my story. That's it. These days I stay to myself. Thank you, Sandra. Hi, the Ferguson. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome in. Miss Jackie. I don't, over the years I've gotten so, I guess, humble and at peace with where I've been and kind of the people I've had in my life before. I'm grateful for everyone's existence, but today I know that in order for me to sustain and maintain the peace that I need to stay healthy, it just doesn't include a lot of busyness with a lot of people. So good to see you. You're so welcome, Terry. I unfortunately at 30 was given a mandatory hysterectomy. So I can't conceive, but I will tell you that I've been blessed to be auntie mommy or auntie mama in some beautiful kids' lives that have allowed me to encourage, inspire, motivate, all of the above. So I've been grateful for those experiences, you guys. Um, you know, did I think eating all that food like that was gonna bring my daughter back? No, but the pain that I felt internally, it's like I needed. It's like if I could get full enough, then it would be like filling the hole. Does that make sense? Can anybody relate to that? It's like if I could just eat enough to fill the hole, like maybe get full enough per se, like my stomach get full enough, then it won't feel so empty on the inside. And I think there were times when I could fill that hole with shopping and traveling and trips and other things. But when those things were no longer an option, I laid in a hospital bed and I ate myself to death or tried to. I was given 30 days to live, so I was pretty tapped out of existing. I I could also tell you that I kind of was praying to die. Yeah, I was praying to die. I had kind of come to this conclusion that God couldn't fix me, couldn't help me, couldn't change me. And that the only thing that could help me is if I just stayed full. So I would overly buy snacks and treats in my hospice and hospital bedroom when I was in long-term care, and I would keep it hidden under the bed. So I had this endless supply of snacks that I could just reach under the hospital bed and get at any hour of the night. I got so good that I would get people to bring me ramen noodle, and all I had to ask for was a cup of boiling hot water, and I could eat noodles all through the night. Now, as I say those stories back, I can hear the addictive nature of that. But when I was doing it, I couldn't. I just knew that my situation hurt. And it hurt physically and it hurt mentally, and I wanted the pain to go away. That's my story. What about you guys? Is there anyone else who can relate to what I'm talking about? Like, this is a picture of me when I was actually in palliative care. I had already started kind of drinking those protein shakes, but I was still really sick, as you can see, because I do have a condition. But as you can see, if you look at the arm, remember I talked to you guys about how my skin hung all the way down here until I started rubbing the skin with the lotion. So this is what we have now, from down here to this. And so, and I tell you guys, I do those band motions all the time. So, yeah, just that's the same face. I don't have the big old head anymore. This is the same head though. Um, yeah. So, yeah. So tonight we thank God for Kanisha's life, and I thank God for giving me the ability to see the other side of grief. In terms of losing a child, because it's taken me about 30 years to be able to even have this discussion with you. For many years, I was suicidal on her birthday, but hashtag just telling my story. This is no need for AI to try to go and block me. I'm not currently going to unalive myself. I'm well. But what I am sharing is that there was a time when her loss hurt me, and it made it hard for me to want to live because I hadn't had any more children. So I spent a lot of years feeling incomplete, and not full, not whole. Today I can tell you I don't have that same sense of emptiness. And because of that feeling, I would eat. Because of that hole inside of me that was emotionally there, I would just eat, you guys. And as I said, I know that some of this is really foreign to some of you, this emotional eating thing. And maybe it's not you, but what I'm telling you is it was real for me. And it wasn't until I had to start dealing with grief, I had to start dealing with grief. I had to, because that was the issue. That was what was connected to the food. I wasn't connected to the food, the grief was. And so, because I was living grief daily, I was daily grieving the loss of so much. It says, TikTok may flag you, say unalive when speaking. Yes, TR, I changed it, sister. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Shout out to the best mods. Lisa, welcome in. Thank you. Hey, lovely. Thank you for sharing the live. And so the issue was that that's why, because I wanted to just stop. So I just think I kept right back at you, gorgeous. So I wanted to just cut the eating off. I wanted to cut the snacking off. I wanted to cut the chewing off. But then even when I stopped buying the things that I like, I still would want to chew. So then now I'm over chewing snacks, chewing gum, sucking on peppermints, chewing up ice. So what happened was I noticed that not only was it the food, it was also chewing. I was addicted to chewing. It soothed my body. No wonder I couldn't just stop eating all those times everyone kept telling me to just stop eating. That's why I couldn't just stop eating. It wasn't, no, like I had someone tell me, Coach, no matter what anybody tells you, those injections, that voice is still there. It's in the deep, deep back, but it's there. And I said, I believe it. I believe it. Because you guys, I was on a feeding tube and the voice was there. I literally physically could not eat. And I still had that voice, that little voice in my head, like making you wonder what you can eat, what's available, when it's available. And all you need is like a commercial or somebody to bring up a discussion, and your mind is off to the races, right? And then even when you get it calm, if you're not careful, it takes just one food to trigger that baby, and it'll come back like magic. I'm telling you, I have studied this thing, but in the brain, right? Because that's what my retirement, my previous career. So I've studied this thing in the brain. Like, I'm telling you, it's stuff happening in our brain. That's why it's like some of us, we can do everything we want to, need to, or think to for our body. We can get 5 surgeries, take every injection over the market, and our mind is still slightly leaning in food neighborhood on Burger Avenue, right? And I think it's because chewing, check this out. I think it's because for some of us, the actual act of chewing, tasting, and feeling for some of us are together. Did y'all just hear what I just said? Tasting, chewing, and feeling together. They're together. Lovely, you got me. Lovely is right here with me. Me and Lovely are on the same bus. And so while we're steadily trying to gym it off, walk it off, talk it out, the reason why we're unable to kind of we can get real close to the goal. I mean, we get all the way to the goal and we just can't get there. And this is when I think generational, cultural, and emotional obesity kicks in. Yeah. This is when I think those factors play a heavier role, right? Because some of us, we then get success, but there becomes this tug and pull with our environment, meaning our environment becomes a barrier to keep and maintain the weight loss. Y'all don't want, you know what? I'm not even gonna do it. It's Friday night. I ain't gonna bother y'all, okay? Listen here now. I don't want to cause no problem with nobody. I ain't gonna bother y'all. I was gonna go all the way in to walk up all in the street, flick some trees around, and tell you all about it. But I'm not gonna do that. Hi, it's Mimi. What I'm gonna do instead is my name's Coach Kenya. Lost some pounds naturally, quite a bit, and every day we come live. So if you're new here and you don't follow me yet, please feel free to hit that button because guess what? I follow back. And what we do here. So let me just say what we do here. I'm not selling you anything. Now, if you've been on any of my other pages, you know I have other pages. This page is our backup page where I go live. And for the last 212 days, we've been sharing a daily motivational reading to address our fear and our faith as it relates to wellness. I lost 100 pounds, but sometimes I catch myself eat right subconsciously. Don't even know how it happened, right? Like if somebody told you to track back how you got the food in your hand, you wouldn't be able to tell them. Tell the truth, right? You done ended up in a drive-thru or a grocery store looking for something. You don't even know how you got there. When I tell y'all this thing is more diabolical than some of y'all could ever imagine because y'all want it to be substantial. Y'all want it to be little and small. So you think if you dominate this thing because you make it small, baby, this thing is big. So you got to get bigger. You cannot dummy this thing down. You cannot dummy this thing down. I'm a snacker and chocolate is my addiction. You can't dummy this thing down. And just imagine the chocolate then cuts on your addiction to the sugar. And then the sugar triggers your desire to want salt. Because when you use food to soothe, you can only eat so much before it begins to make you sick. So what happens is the body becomes so aware of your eating habits that right before you get sick on eating the chocolate, it'll have you start craving a chip, a piece of meat, or something salty. Why? Because it needs you to balance it out so it doesn't get sick. Your body doesn't want to be sick. And I can't have salt. Salt swells me up. Yep. But when your craving is serious enough, you actually succumb to the salt because it's stronger. It's stronger. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome in. And that's why I do this reading, you guys. Listen. I know what I do works. I know it's effective. I've studied it over, through, under, with hundreds and hundreds of people with different walks of life, different income brackets, different employments, different educations, different skin colors. That's not the question. What I'm bringing to you is the commonality that you cannot ignore your mindset. That's what sets you apart. That, oh, you know different than everybody else. Oh, I'm different. I don't care if you GLP it, surgery it, chew it off, keto it off, diabetic it off. I don't care how you get it off, get it off. But in the process of doing that release, get your mindset in the game or he will come back. And it will be angry that you restricted it. It will be aggressive that you denied it. It will be frustrated that you did not include it. Okay. It will come back raging and roaring like nothing you've never seen. And before you know it, you have sat somewhere and gained 20 or 30 pounds in about a weekend. Understand me. Understand me what happens if you suppress it. This thing has to be addressed. Because remember, attached to me not chewing is attached to me, meaning I have to feel. And if I used to chew to deal with my stressful marriage or my stressful children, and you're telling me I can't chew anymore, somebody needs to help me deal with my stressful children. This fight is in your mind, not your body. You're right. You have to fight your mind. Oh my gosh, Meg, your mind is actually the problem. You guys are ones got caught up thinking if I get down to 160, I'm gonna be good, and you gonna be the Lulu. That's crazy. And you know why? Because your mindset is still gonna be thinking like the lady that was 350. That's why you can look in the mirror and be done lost 300 pounds, and you think you still 400. That's why that happens. That's why your eyes think your thighs are this big when they all the way down to this big. You know, you realize that's all in your mind. Well, where do you think that was always a? You know that was always there, right? How do you think you were able to get so big and not see it? What? See, what happens is people try to associate size with disorder, and we have to stop doing that. We got to quit doing that because we have these theories where you think because I'm already big that I can't have the problem with somebody skinny, that somebody skinny can have the same problem as a big person. Word. I know people that can eat 100,000 calories and they weigh a size 7. They're size 7. And they would love to be a size 14. That's why we don't pursue a space or a state that says we gotta be there. Our goal is to be consistently transforming, consistently changing, seeking a better version of who we was the day before. We might realize we might lose 100 pounds and have the perfect antidote, and on pound 101, realize we gotta switch it up and go down the street. And it's the willingness in our inside of us when we worked on dealing with our fear that will give us the stamina, endurance to go that other direction. Because if you're pursuing your weight loss and wellness journey with a sense of fear of I don't want it to come back, that's exactly what's going to happen. The very thing you fear will occur because the mindset is focused on being afraid of what's going to happen versus creating a pathway for you to maintain your successful weight loss. Creating a lifestyle instead of creating a bunch of like addictive nature behaviors that cause you to become codependent on those actions, and if they don't happen you can't succeed. COVID taught us that. That's not my statement. COVID taught you that if you become reliant and solely focused only on the gym, then if they take that away from you, then you're back to where you came from. Why why it has to be in you. You have to be willing to squat at home just like you are to squat at the gym. Why? Because it's a transformation, it's a lifestyle. So if my weight loss is only determined by my gym going 5 days a week, what happens when, if God forbid my mother is ill and I can't get to the gym at all? I've created no other strategy to keep my mind in the game. It will be easy for me to sit in the hospital room and eat snacks instead of sitting in the hospital room, continue to do my workouts, continue to meal prep, continue. You understand? It'll be easier for me to go back to what I'm familiar with because remember, the where I came from was my comfort zone. That's what many of you don't get. Where you came from was safe. Where you're going to is unsafe. You don't know where you're going. So your mind is willing to go back to where it's familiar. You're creating a total new existence that it does not know. So it wants to go back. Your job is to create a space where it feels safe enough to stay and keep going regardless of what the circumstances look like. I'm not going to go back to sitting on this couch, Netflix, and eating like that no matter what. Even if I catch myself on one day, tomorrow we will not do this. Tomorrow we will not do this. This will not be my story. I will not. This won't be my story. We have to declare and decree. You know what? I see this. I've seen this in me before. Let me get up from here. When you feel that sadness setting in and you can't fight it, and you know the sadness means you get off the phone from talking to somebody, you go lay down. Don't go lay down. See, that's what this is the type of change you want, type of transformation you want. That's what you want to be able to do. You don't want to automatically result back to where you came from. You want to nope. You know what? Today I had the worst day of my life, but I will not go home and sit in the house and eat. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna put on my gym clothes. I'm gonna get my kids. We're gonna go for a walk. Then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get my journaling done. I'm gonna get my meditation done while I'm cooking dinner. I'm gonna get the kids ready for their baths. You know what I'm saying? If we don't do that, you guys, good evening, Alicia. Good, thank you, Lisa. If we don't do that, then it's easier for us to revert back to where we came from because it's comfortable, because it's familiar, because it was consistent, and because it was safe. And that's the part many of us don't realize about where we came from. Even if we disliked everything about where we came from on our weight loss and wellness journey, it was safe because it was familiar. Lovely, you're listening. You're just looking. Thank you so, Mama. Just hang out with me, okay? So now, let's get into our Friday night reading. Okay, here we go. We're on day 213. That first book is David Komolofi. You can grab them off of Amazon. I'm not sure how much it costs, but I believe between $10 and $15. Maybe you can get it used or on Kindle. But we read our insert from here every day. Okay. And then because we want to deal with that fear scripturally, we want to take that fear to somebody that can handle it better than us, right? Then the next thing we do, y'all, because if I hadn't have dealt with my fear, you guys, I'm telling y'all where I would have been and I would have unalived myself. Yeah, I was afraid of being alone, afraid of being something. I was afraid. I was always scared of something. Scared of failing, scared of succeeding, scared of having, scared of not having. I was always scared. Scared of being broke, scared of being rich, just scared. Scared somebody's gonna take something from me, scared somebody ain't gonna give me something. Just scared. They're scared they don't love me. Scared that they don't want me. Nobody's ever said that, but just scared. Just why? Oh, I want to do something, but I'm too scared to start. Too scared to start. Too scared to stop. And I had to grab a hold of myself, Queen K. Welcome in. And I had to make some real hard adult-like decisions. And it started with me being honest with the way I housed my relationships. What I learned is I house these very toxic, unequal power based relationships. And if you remember yesterday's reading said, um, was it June 2nd? Yeah, I think it was June 17th. Remember, it said that when we have an inequality of power. Remember, she talked about the power, the losing the power. Remember, she was tossing the can up. I don't know what day it was. Oh, I'm in June. That's why. Hold on, let me get to July. Oh, here we go. Hold on, 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 hold it out. Yesterday, and the reason why I'm going back, she said, "Put yourself on equal ground." Remember, she talked about. She was saying that remember, if you give up your power or decide that someone has power over you, you'll begin grousing, sabotaging, and doing sneaky little things to equalize that relationship, to feel like you have your power. There's another way, a better way, one that will help you heal. Put yourself on equal ground. Peep that. So what she was saying yesterday is that the reading talked about, the lady was the author was throwing a can up in the air, and they were talking about power, and the other guy snatched the can and said, "See, I took your power," and she says, "Yeah, I see," and she looked baffled. She says in the book, and he goes on to say, "See," tells her that basically no one can take your power. It's an illusion. So if you've ever said that someone is taking your power, that's actually an illusion, because no one can take your power, nor can you really give it away, because your power is something that is inside of you. And then it went on to say that part of our journey to freedom, an important part, is equalizing our relationships. For many years, we have believed the scales were tipped one way or the other in our work and love relationships. We have believed that others knew a great deal more than we did, or may have begun to believe that we had all the answers, but no one has our power. That's an illusion. So much so that sometimes the person we believe is more powerful than us may be looking at us thinking we're the ones pulling the strings. I'm going to sip on that. Hi, Joyce. How are you? Beautiful. Is that not powerful? Is that not powerful? And many of you immediately, when you heard that, knew to apply that to your life, because it's true. Especially when you have struggled with your health or your wellness, you have felt like not only have you either given your power away, that someone is taking it from you, especially during times of vulnerability. Hi, beautiful. You guys, please give some love to Miss Joyce Bell in the building. This is actually someone who is a motivation to me, you guys. Yep. Who has been a great motivation to me for over the last, we're going on almost, it'll be 10 years in 2026 that I've been inspired by this beautiful queen. She is an amazing a nurse in the medical industry. I think so. Yep. She has her own business. She's a personal trainer, a wellness coach. I mean, just an amazing woman. So please make sure you follow her, guys. I love her to the moon and back. So anyway, Joyce, we're talking about facing our fears. So when we have been in these relationships where we felt like someone else had more power than us, we often don't even share our point of view, because we feel like that person's point of view is better than ours. But one of the things I like to equal the basis on when I'm working with my girls, my ladies, with my women, and with the gentlemen, is that I ask them, "What do you think?" I always want to know what you think, not because I think you're going to think something different, but because people actually perceive the same situation differently. And that's really important when you are working through components of generational, cultural, and emotional obesity. Because these components require you to actually handle, deal, or talk about behaviors that were influential in your life from someone else. So clarity is really important, because remember, my number one rule about weight loss and wellness, even being healthy, because some of us, people think it's only about being big, but it's not. That's where uh, that's where I kind of get like really like, okay, let's get rational. Let's stop being so diabolical. We don't want to.
basically talk ourselves out of living the best life. But we also don't want to talk ourselves into these consistent patterns of fad diets and temporary transformations that have no longevity or maintenance simply because we haven't done the mindset work. Because you can get any system all right, you can join any system all right, but if you do not do the mental health work, baby, what then what? If chewing help you deal with your mother that passed away, I promise you, even when you lose 100 pounds, unfortunately, mama's still gone. My mom's still gone. So no matter how many more pounds I lose, I still soothe my grief with food, which means that I have to be careful. I will soothe my grief with food. It says, let's face them. We learn to sacrifice ourselves for others. A period. Like on neck on the chopping block consistently. So day 213, David Komalafi says, therefore, having been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Romans 5:1. The principle says faith triumphs over fear when you have the peace of reconciliation with God and others. And it's so funny to say the reconciliation with God and others, because a lot of us reconcile with God, but we don't reconcile with others. And remember, I did the series over eating over other people. Remember, we talked about that. We did a week-long series every evening. I talked about eating over other people, their problems, their things, and their situation. Remember, we talked about that. This is that right full circle. Many of us eat over other people. Not even our own situation. Blood of Jesus reconcile me to peace, love, joy, and my fellow man in Jesus' name. I have been justified by faith so I can renounce fear in Jesus' name. So justified by faith, and I can renounce fear. I'm no longer standing in fear. I'm not afraid of where this journey takes me. I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to learn the things necessary for me not only to get healthy, but to sustain it and maintain it. I'm no longer just interested in how skinny I can be. I want to know the difference between a vegetable and a carb. I don't, you understand now, my mindset is different now. I've changed my mind. It's my focus is different. I'm no longer willing to just settle. I'm leveling myself up. I'm reconciling any fear, and I'm standing on my faith and demanding in that faith that whatever I've been promised, I'm guaranteed that. Day 213, David Komalafi. And then remember, because food is a relationship, and some of y'all got codependency on food. Let's talk about it, be about it. So we got to do the work somewhere. And some of y'all wouldn't dare call a counselor. So here we are, I guess, getting you some free tips and tricks, all right? And I'm not, although I may be a counselor and a therapist and a behaviorist and a good one, and retired on top of that, I am not yours. Okay? All right. Now we got that clear. Let's go. All right. July 18th says, happy birthday, Kanisha. We honor you today with this beautiful reading, Kanisha. Thank you for your memory being a reason that I pushed and thrived to be a better version of myself, to heal from the trauma that I've experienced as a child, and to know that I deserve all those things and more. A lot of us live with self-sabotage and undeserving feeling we don't deserve happen. Yes, and that's a really big one. And I actually think that's what happens to a lot of us when we do get the weight off. We get healthy. We start getting healthy and we start believing we don't even deserve it. And so we slowly stop doing the things that got us there. The first week is I couldn't afford it. The second week is the kids got joined soccer. The third week is I hurt my knee. The fourth week is I can't make it. The fifth week is I don't want to do that no more. I'm just meant to be big. We've all been there. It's the truth for so many of us. It's our reality for so many of us. That we inside, we wouldn't say it outside, never. But inside, we don't really believe we can get healthy, keep it all forever, and live our best lives. Because in our it's always a version of ourselves telling us we can. Because I believe that the meanest person in the world to you and me is you and me. The meanest person in the world to you is you and me. You understand? The meanest person to me is me. The things I've conjured up to say about myself, no person has ever said. The worst abuse and domestic violence I've ever experienced has been by my own hands.
The worst, the most negative things I've ever said have come out of my own mouth. Oh, I've been beat for years, but I've also beat myself. The way I ate, that's abuse. The way I sat and ate like that, knowing that I had a terminal condition, that's abuse. That's unaliving ideations. Think about it. You don't think beating your body up and abusing it with food is some form? What do you think it is then? What y'all think it is? Ooh, do we need to have a round table? That Bill, because I'm feeling like, hi, I'm new here, and this I'm new to you, and this account just showed up on my FYP. How'd you lose weight naturally? Oh my gosh, Bill, what a good question for us. I use nutritional cleansing. So I use a 3-2-1 meal plan, which is two shakes, three snacks, and one fork and knife meal a day. Ah, Queen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
You guys, okay, I'm not even, you know what? I'm not even going to talk. I'm actually going to give Joyce the floor for, I'm going to do the reading. Joyce, don't go anywhere. I'm going to finish the reading for today. And then I would love for you guys to hear Joyce's story. Do you guys want to hear a transformation story tonight? Yes? Would you guys like to hear that? I know y'all want to hear that. So just share the live and stay right here. 2 seconds, the reading will be done. And then she's going to share her story. The reason why I'm going to have you guys have her share the story after I read, because people always hear about my big story, right? But I'm going to have my friend Joyce Bell tell you about her story and why I tell you that everybody can live a healthy lifestyle. Okay, here we go. June 18th. Find the humor in it. I called home from our trip to talk to my friend. He was taking care of Max, my African gray parrot. While I went on this journey, how's Max? I asked. Is she doing okay? Well, he said, she's a little confused. I've got her outside on the patio. She says hi to all the seagulls that come by, and she can't figure out why they won't talk back to her. My parrot makes me smile. My friend makes me laugh. I have many friends that make me laugh. Together, we laugh a lot. Learning to laugh, learning to find humor, either in what we're going through or despite it, is a powerful tool on this journey. Cherish the gift of humor. Life doesn't need to be so gloomy. Spirituality doesn't need to be so serious and somber. Work doesn't need to be that way either. Learn to see the humor in life. Look for it, find it, enjoy it. Surround yourself with people who like to laugh. Being around people who laugh can open us up to the power of humor in our own lives. Laughter can become contagious. There is something magnetic, something healing about being around people who let themselves laugh often. There is no situation in life that can't be improved by laughter. Sometimes humor can help us get through situations we couldn't possibly endure without it. Sometimes laughter isn't super florious. It's essential. Sometimes laughter is the next lesson we need to be learning. Please learn to laugh again. Oh, that one was good. I love this woman. She's a really good author. You can follow her on Instagram. Okay, so today's reading, learn to laugh, find humor in everything. So I'm sure Joyce will say something that will have y'all laugh because she makes me laugh. She's pretty cool. She's a really dope woman. I'm telling you. You guys are going to be excited you're here. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. So yeah, you guys know how I roll. I'm always on the fly because I believe that God is spontaneous and he's purposeful all in the same time. And so Joyce is my friend for a long time, you guys, but she's never been in any of my lives that I can recall. Have you?
No, I've never been.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give this to God because this is definitely not planned. So I am actually live, Joyce, on TikTok,
Facebook, my Facebook page, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you don't mind, when you're sharing, if you can speak loudly so they can at least hear you on the other platforms, even though they can't see you. But what I would love to do is for you to actually share your journey, your story, and give some tips too. Because okay, so Joyce talks teach it's for my women maybe you're fit, maybe you're active, perimenopausal. Listen, okay, you know what, Joyce, do you? I'm the audience.
Goodness, Tanya, I'm so super excited. And when I say a God appointment, this is what this is. It is so amazing. You and I have known each other for so many years. I love you so much for what it is that you've done. And you know that we're both on the same journey with regard to making sure that we pay attention to what we're doing with our bodies and the health of our lives, because we're looking for longevity. Yeah. And so you're going to let me know whether you can hear me clear or not.
The sound is great. Amazing. The sound is great.
Forever, we've always spoken about being able to kind of collaborate and just bounce off each other. This is so a God appointment. Oh my goodness.
You guys do not know why I'm so happy. Y'all don't even know.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And your reaction, because they cannot see me, is exactly my reaction. So I love it. I love it. And please continue that, because it gives me those kinds of cookies. I'm going to see you at Celebration if you are. I'm going to see you.
Yes.
It's so awesome. But let me just share briefly. It's 11:39 here in Atlanta, Georgia.
It is 8:39 in Arizona, guys. Just so you guys know what the coasts are doing.
Wow. So amazing. The very same products that Kenya uses are the same things that I do. And here it is. I am a cardiac nurse. I've been nursing for 24 years. I had never heard about a cellular cleanse. And I'm talking about cleansing the cells of your body. We're not talking about a poo-poo cleanse. We're not talking about cleansing your lungs, your liver, your kidneys. We're talking about all of the cells of the body entirely at the same time. Yeah. And so I went to an event. It was called a launch party. And you guys would have to know, I thought at the time that I was going to listen to some music and I was going to hear, some new CDs and so forth. And they were talking about, cleansing and wellness. And I thought, well, what kind of tomfoolery is this? But I'm going to sit in and hear what they're talking about. And they said, listen, you can do this cleanse for your body. It could be 2 days, or you could do a 1 day, or you could do a 2-day cleanse, and you'll see a difference in your system. But along with it, we're going to also give you good nutrition so that you can put the nutrition in your body, and then we can also cleanse at the same time. And I thought, okay, in 30 days, I want to get my money back because I know it's not going to work. I had never heard of it, didn't think that it would work. And literally, I began to put it into my system. But prior to that, the backstory was that I had been diagnosed with a cardiac condition, and it said that I was going to have my mitral valve replaced at the age of 40. It said that the valves were not open and closing the way they should, and the blood was pooling, and it was going to cause me to have either some sorts of blockage, clots, and, with that the stroke, all kinds of things, cardiac issues that could arise from that. And what we would need to do is replace that valve. Well, my faith in God is so much so that I knew that He didn't make any mistakes. So it couldn't possibly be that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to submit to surgery. Let me see what I can do personally for myself before I say, yes, let's do surgery. And what I thought about was maybe I'm not getting the right nutrition. Maybe I'm not feeding my body with the right things. I'm not giving it all that it needs. And maybe I'm not cleansing it the way it should. And that's where these systems came into view. I was introduced to it, and I began using it and doing it. Now, mind you, I didn't have weight to lose as far as I was concerned. I mean, I thought I looked good. I didn't have weight to lose. I wasn't overweight. I didn't have what I have now, but I was good. My issue was my heart. Yeah. And I began using the system. And in 4 days, my body began to change. I could not believe how much clarity, how much energy, I wasn't stronger, but I had clarity. Clarity enough to know that if I had made these changes within 4 days, that if I continued doing 30, 60, 90, what would that look like? And what we're talking about is taking a break from your body, taking in this toxic foods, toxic drinks, toxic things that cause inflammation in your body, cleansing it, and then putting good nutrition. Nutrition that's going to feed the cells, that's going to feed the tissues, that's going to feed the organs that are in your body to perform the best. You want a high level of performance in your body. So with that, just like your car, you're going to put the right fuel in there. You're not going to put low-grade fuel in a Bentley.
No, I think it doesn't run well.
You're going to go get the top performance gas. You're not going to put, low grade in a top performing vehicle because you want top performance. And so that's what we were doing, beginning to put good nutrition, solid nutrition to make those cells, those tissues, and those organs. Within about 60 days, my body began to change. And when I say I lost what we call visceral fat, that's the fatty tissue that builds around your organs, around your kidneys, your lungs, your liver. That's that area around the midsection. That's your love handles. That's that extra little, that just kind of sits there that's so annoying. That's that. That began to fall away completely. And in the process, because of the protein in the nutritional system that I was using, my body began to build muscle and gain.
Oh my gosh, she looks so good. Y'all have no idea. She looked good.
It was bananas. And with that, I began to transform. Like Transformers. Okay, I'm showing my age because Transformers is old.
Yeah, they might not know what that is because no, my crowd is older. Actually, Bill, wait a minute, Joyce, JB, my crowd is actually closer to our age, so they gonna know what Transformers are here. Yeah, they gonna know because my crowd is
perfect. Because I am 55 and I get it over and over again that it's no way possible. I go, yes way. We're talking about longevity and we're talking about looking good forever and really claiming it, owning it, working it, and accepting that, hey, there's always going to be work. There's never anything that you just sit down and it's just going to come easily. You have to work for it. So what that looked like was being consistent with having a shake in the morning, a shake in the evening, and cleansing during the day, and then intermittently doing 2 cleanse days. At first it was difficult. I would do 1 cleanse day, and then I learned to do 2 cleanse days because I saw the benefit of it. I looked really good. Damn good, as a matter of fact. And my ultimate goal is to always wear a 2-piece suit. I'm sorry.
Always. She's a sun baby like me, and I'm talking about Joyce be in the 2-piece. Making a shake in the 2-piece.
I want to wear it. I want to enjoy looking at it.
Period.
We're not talking raunchy. We're talking about really enjoying yourself and what you
look
like.
No, it looks good. It's not inappropriate. It's not like sexual innuendo type. No, it's very like sensual, sexy, like you can tell that it's classy. It's classy. Yep. Boom. Yeah. Go to her page. Go clock it. Go to her page.
Good old healthy lady. Just a good old healthy person.
Yeah, go to her page. You'll see. Like, not making it up. Go. You'll see. She looks good, and she works out. It's all kind of workout videos. It's feedback. It's information. It's very much like my platform. You get more knowledge, science-backed knowledge, and information. That's just how we are. We've been knowing each other for a long time.
In a very natural way. Nothing that's puffed up. It's not that difficult. It's very simple. It's a day-to-day. It's without beating yourself up. It's without dragging yourself down. It's without feeling guilty. I never talk about a cheat day. I simply call it an eat day.
Yeah.
Well, today I ate what I wanted to eat.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
Yep.
And because of the nutritional system and because the way you use it, you're able to use it any time of the day, year, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. I go through the holidays and I don't go through, oh, I've gained 12 pounds. Well,
no.
Long story short, I'm 55. At 40, they told me I needed to have surgery. I'm 55. I did not have the surgery. I did not need medication. I did not need to have any extra anything. My heart muscles became stronger. I was able to push the blood forth without having it clot or any problems. And this is my life now at 55, enjoying it without the risk of feeling that I have to have surgery. Doing it the natural way. My body's responding to everything that is healthy. Of course, there are those times when I decide I'm going to eat this whole pizza pie.
Yeah.
All of it. All of it.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think you should be in prison. I don't think food should have you in prison. I think that when you learn to truly transform and you begin to live a lifestyle that's balanced, you can have the piece of cake, you can have the piece of pie, but you don't eat a whole cake anymore. You don't eat a whole pie anymore. The difference is a piece versus an entire, because you're no longer, one, your stomach doesn't do that anymore. Two, you no longer crave it like that anymore. And three, you understand that you eat to fuel your body, not fuel your body. So along with having good nutrition, you gain knowledge.
You gain knowledge, and with that being said, your mindset changes also. Yeah. The people that you are around are the people that you want to help motivate you. Yeah. I no longer have deep relationships with the individuals that want to go to the club and drink alcohol every weekend. Yeah. I no longer have those relationships. Not that we just are on a different path. I want to live and I want to live healthy. Yeah. And so you are associated with the environment that you're with. Yeah. You know, so and there are lots of people who want to live healthy, who want to, and those are the ones that I want to have fun with. Yeah. You know, and you can do it. And there's a lot of creative ways that you can do it. The most part is to be consistent with it. You will see the changes. Your mind will change. It will be so much. Right now, it's seamless for me. It's automatic for me to eat the way I do. It's automatic to have a 2-day fasting. I do what we call an 11-day shred. Yeah, 11 days. You know, just a shorter period of time. We don't have to do 30 days. You can do 11 days. You decided, pick it. Kenya, I love you so much. I love you so much, Queen. Thank you. I'm on your side. I see like, yes, my girl. Because this is necessary for us. Yeah. And I mean specifically for African Americans, specifically for women. Yeah. Because we are the ones who are giving birth to the future. Yeah. We are making the children, and we are the guidance. Yeah. And it's necessary for us. And so for myself, I know I am winning. I'm never gonna go backwards. Yeah. I know you're winning. We've been introduced to the right stuff. We know exactly what it is. This is what we do. And so that's my suggestion. You know, I'm going to be following you literally like I gain knowledge from you all the time. Queen, and it seems like it's so weird, but you know, you're my mentor.
Oh, Queen. Joyce, don't be saying that trying to make me cry my little lash off, honey. You're not gonna do that. I'm holding on to that lash.
Fall off at the same time.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble to hear you say that. You know, my team tells you, you know, somehow ask me something, I'll be like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go research it. I was never like that before. But what happened, there was so much misinformation that people need. Ames, that people needed corrected so they can know the right direction to go. Like when I start talking to people about forever toxin, they was like, what? What's a forever toxin? So I would have people in my life. I say, okay, I want 5 people to put their hand up and I want them to go Google forever toxins and come back with their definition. And they would come back and put in the chat these definitions of this stuff I've described. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, how come no one's ever told us this? Because just imagine if you had all the power and knowledge you needed to sustain you and your family's health, then a whole lot of industries can't be an industry.
Right. That's right.
They can't be an industry. They can't be $1 billion industries.
Because
right.
when you have your own the power to heal yourself in your hands, which we do, we just don't know we do because we don't often have enough knowledge. We don't know that certain things work together to naturally heal the body because we've been taught that you need a medication for everything, but really what you need is a herb and a mineral for everything.
That's right. That's right.
So that's
and that space that we're living in now is designed to take it away from us.
Yes.
That's the problem. Where we're living and how we are now is designed to pull it away from us. So if we can understand how can we put it back?
Yeah.
How can we give it back? And what do we use to give it back? Because there's a lot of things out there. There are lots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I swear by our nutritional system that will never change for me. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's necessary. And I guess until I die, that's what it's going to be.
Ditto. Because it's so simple. One shake a day for me and detox tea. I've been doing the same thing. I don't do I can't have nothing complicated. I don't want a counter full of vitamins. I don't want 17, 18,000 bottles. I don't want it. I don't have the personality for it. I don't want to feel like I'm restricted. I want to know that if I have a shake in the morning, I don't have to worry about certain things all day. I don't want to be craving and feeling bloated afterwards. I don't want nothing with soy in it because it messes with my terminal condition. They're just things that today I know better. I didn't know what soy can do with to someone that has an autoimmune disease. I didn't know.
Yes.
I had no idea. No doctor ever told me that what I was being fed that was coming directly from the grocery stores in my community was triggering my disease and causing me to almost bleed to death. No one told me that.
Yes.
But when I go back and look at the foods I was eating at the times when I was bleeding like that, they were all soy-based items or red dye, which then told me something about my body. See, when I became more knowledgeable, I didn't have to worry about blaming what was going on me on any disease because I quickly learned that I was putting something in me that was causing things to act up as a part of me. I stopped putting some of those things in there, and guess what happened? Some of that stuff stopped happening, like the swelling, the lip edema. There's a difference. Get educated. The knots are gone. Not because I didn't rub no cream, buy no patches or nothing. I start eating better. People keep asking me, how did you do it naturally? Somebody taught me how to eat. You're talking to one of the women that taught me that if you do not learn the difference between a carb and a complex carb, I don't care if you lose 1,000,000 pounds. There are certain things your body's going to need because when you lose a lot of weight, you also begin to battle with this thing called malnourishment.
Yes. Yes, and starving yourself is never the answer. Oh, I'm not going to eat for a week. Oh, I'm going to fast. I mean, fasting is necessary when you're having a relationship with Christ or you want to, you're seeking something specifically, on that level. But other than that, there's no reason. You're doing your body an injustice by not feeding it.
I don't think people know that when you starve the body, it causes your heartbeat to increase because it has to keep up with there not being no food. And then when you starve, you get it up. Your heart rate's regular, right? Did you know that when you sit engorged on a lot of food, your heart rate has to speed itself up to keep up with that activity?
Absolutely. Exactly.
These things are serious.
With the insulin.
Yep.
That's the same thing with the sugar that you're putting in your body. The pancreas is going, okay, I'm trying to monitor, but I can't. I don't have enough. I don't have enough to make. And now we're in overload.
Yep.
Because you're bringing too much sugar in. It's like you're letting too many people in the door. And now the capacity of the house is full. Yeah. And now we don't have enough toilet paper. We don't have enough water.
Enough paper towel. We ain't got no sheets. Can't no, everybody's cold. We ain't got no comforters or nothing. We just in the house. Yeah, you're so welcome, lovely. Because one of my biggest struggles was I was actually deficient on 4 vitamins that if you're a woman and you cycle are coming into are going into menopause. Yeah, that's what we cross through the studies. It's going, into menopause. Because the thing is, many of us we got no vitamin D. We're low on potassium and magnesium. Did y'all know that our body's a muscle? Right. Y'all sitting out here cutting out sugar and butter, eggs, milk. Y'all forgetting that you actually do need a little bit of those things. You need a little bit of everything. That's why it's called moderation. Because your brain needs certain things to process proper chemicals and to do its job. And then your stomach, in order to make all the proper probiotics it needs in there, you actually got to give it stuff.
Exactly. So that fasting and I'm not going to eat so I can lose weight is not helping. And then you don't think you can go do the exercise without giving it the fuel that it needs for you to do the exercise. There's no way. What has it got to work with? Nothing.
Yeah.
It has absolutely nothing to work with. And now you want to go do all this exercise. Now the body's in fatigue. It's survival mode.
I think that's the biggest struggle, though. I think, like, because I don't know how I learned this, but somehow I learned about, your active heart rate, your workout, the heart rate in order to burn fat during a workout. Because for a long time, because I started when I was paralyzed, I thought doing like basic physical therapy was a workout in my mind because I was so large and it took so much to do those moves. So as I got more capable, I would do basic stuff like that. And I could do it consistently, but I would see no results, right? I didn't understand that, even because a lot of people do this and then they wonder why they're not seeing a change or they plateaued. I didn't understand that even in that I had to exert enough activity internally for my heart and lungs to do work enough to actually burn something. So even though I'm sweating all right, that doesn't mean I'm burning fat.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. That part was only really the therapy, literally.
Yes.
Therapy.
Yes.
Now you have to do the work. The therapy was really just kind of getting you started. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. Now do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now do it. So that's all that is. It's therapy. And I tell people when you go and you see this physical therapist, I went to physical therapy. I understand. That's just for you to learn exactly what you need to do. And now you need to actually do it and do it often away from the physical therapist because you're not seeing them every day.
Yeah.
You go once every 2 weeks or once every week, whatever it is. But now you need to do what you're doing on a daily basis for that body to respond, for it to grow, for the muscles to grow, for you to lose the weight, for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Now you have to be consistent with it. And sometimes, to be honest, it's twice a day.
Yeah.
You have to at least consider it.
Yeah.
It might be twice a day until you get to a place where you can just kind of balance it out depending on what it is. Whether you want to lose the weight, whether you want to gain muscle, whether you want to become stronger, whether you want to become more flexible, whether you need more endurance, whichever the thing is, it's necessary. You're going to have to do it. And then when you get to a place where you're in maintenance, and even in maintenance, like where I feel like I am now, even in maintenance, now I need specific. Because there's times when I want my tummy to be tummier.
Yeah. I want these arms got to do some different type of arming. I know how to build the body out. I've been taught by the best. Okay. These arms going to have to arm another way. Now I know I'm going to have a little skin. I can't have surgery because I have a condition, but they're going to have to tighten up, tone up, flex up or something. And then something. Something.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at right now in my journey, is adding more protein, doing a more effective 2 a days. I'm doing 2 a days right now.
You said it, the protein. As we age and people miss the part, you say, I need to add more protein. Yes, as we begin to age, the more protein is necessary. And stop thinking, I'm going to do too much. Baby, you're not doing enough as it is.
That's true. That is true.
Not doing enough as it is.
But that's my problem. I cannot stand my lovely. Well, join me on my journey with these resistance bands, baby. Go grab your iRise resistance bands. They're $7 over there on the iRise TikTok shop, baby. And you come. I drop videos. I do them all the time on different platforms all the time of me working with those bands and showing y'all how I started in the hospital bed, doing the same moves, that to even get my big old arm from this photo you see to the arm you see. It was my nutrition and my consistency. I literally have the band. No cap, watch this. Because y'all know, y'all probably thinking, she does not sit around with those bands on all the time. And do.
That's right.
And do. See, I'm not worried about what you think about my journey because I'm on it. I'm committed to it. I know where my body came from. I know what I felt and looked like. So it doesn't matter what nobody else is talking about. I'm committed to mine. And that's what I hope that I pour out and pour into you all, is that the number one rule to this thing isn't how small you can get, how fast you can get there. It's how committed are you to you regardless of your circumstances. Are you still going to show up if you lose somebody? Are you going to still show up if you unemployed? Are you still going to show up if you fall out with your boo? Are you still going to show up if your friend get mad at you? Are you still going to be capable of showing up in adversity? Because that's what many of us aren't tested on. We're not battle tested on our weight loss journeys. Or we losing weight, all right, but let a struggle come and we sitting somewhere sneaking and eating and crying. See, that's why we need to work on our mind, body, and our spirit, because when we're fully connected, nothing can knock you off your game.
No matter what. That's exactly right. No matter what. And it also becomes embedded in you. Yep. That it's automatic. Yep. It's automatic to do so. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You'll find yourself walking past snacks, cookies, turning down cakes, turning down alcohol. You'll find yourself feeling so mentally clear. You be sitting in a room with people you've been knowing 20 or 30 years and just get up and leave and realize that, you know what? I done grew past them and didn't even know it.
Easy.
I done grew past my best friend.
Yes, ma'am. And I ain't even mad at you. Not mad at you at all.
Yep. You ain't mad at the person or nothing. You just realize that where you want to go, they don't want to go. And you couldn't figure that out all these years. And you finally caught hold of it. And it's now that fear I was telling you about. Some of y'all in the middle of y'all journey, the fear done smacked you. Go on and step forward. Because some people can't change that's around you because they're waiting for you to change and stay consistent with you. Remember, the book said that you think that they got the power when you got the power. You looking up to them while they looking up to you. So if you looking up to them and they looking up to you, then
we in trouble.
We ain't going nowhere. So that's important. That's important. All of it matters. Don't skip any of it. Don't let nobody tell you mindset don't matter. Instead of being mad for not getting to your goal, yet be happy you no longer where you was. And that's so, oh my gosh. That's that right there. Because some people say, well, I started and it didn't work, but you started. That's one step closer than last time. Well, it didn't work for me, but you started and you saw that didn't work. Then let's try something else, because you don't ever have to fully give up. I used to actually say, after I would start something and I couldn't stay consistent, I would literally say, I'm just meant to be big. What does that mean? Because my heart was racing and I couldn't breathe at the time. And you can't tell me that that's what God meant for me, because I felt like I was suffocating. Because if he meant that, I don't want it. He couldn't have meant that for me.
That's right.
He couldn't have. That's what because if he meant that for me, y'all don't want it. So that's why today I'm real honest about, I don't want to go back. No, I was not happy big. No, I'm not going to lie. I was not happy. I was miserable and I was faking it till I make it. I was so miserable. But I had no one that would understand my truth, that I could even tell my truth to. The fear of going to restaurants and getting in people's cars. And I was tortured inside my brain, but I was always cute and always name brand. Like that made up for me. But it didn't make up for the broken self. I was cute, but I was broken. That's how I ate like that, because I got slowed down. That's the difference. That's all that happened. Before, I was running from the pain. When I got sick and injured, I was now sitting in it. So I was trying to eat my way out of it, but I couldn't. And that's how I gained 389 pounds in 10 months. It's because an unresolved beast living in your heart will cut you open and eat you live. It's the minute you get long enough. Hear what I just said. For all my over-succeeders, overachievers, fixers, do makers, money makers, soul shakers, all y'all out here fixing everybody else's life, thinking y'all mini Jesus. Get slowed down. Get slowed down. And everything you've ran from the entire existence of your life is going to show up in the color of emotions, and you're gonna have to feel them. I'm just telling you, I ran from all the beating, the domestic violence, marriage, the neglected parents, the deceased children. I ran from all of it until I was stuck in that hospital bed, and I couldn't outwork it. I couldn't open another business. I couldn't travel out of I couldn't run from it. I had to feel it.
Had to face it.
And it almost killed me. So I pray that each
and
of you.
And that's another reason why you don't look at other people and say, oh, I want that, because you really don't know what they are going through. They're going to present with a smile. They're going to present with the face, and it may look a certain way, but it truly is not. You have to find it within. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you. Please make sure you guys follow my girl, Joyce. It's Inspired by Body by Bell.
It's Inspired Body by Bell on all platforms.
On all of them. I was gonna say it's on all the platforms. Yes. So Instagram, TikTok. She sometimes I think in the morning she's working out on Instagram. So make sure you catch her if you're someone who gets up early and want a good morning workout. She shows you how to use pieces of equipment and everything. Just make sure you follow her if you want positive women of color doing positive natural stuff. Please be sure you check her out, you guys. She's an abundance of knowledge, and she's a nurse. So I know some of you like having knowledge. Okay, here's more. That one.
Yes, and very natural. There's nothing fake about it. Nothing, you know. So just very natural. That's what we're doing.
So that's all we got for y'all tonight. It's my girl, y'all. I love you so much, Bill. Thank you so much.
Girl,
thank you.
I gotta go. I got kickball practice in the morning. Good night.
I know I have the kids choir, man. I got to do it, man. They have a youth day, and I done taught them how to step. So without me, they can't step. So I got to be there in the morning. So giving back to the youth. Love you guys. Good night, Bill. Good night, Joyce. Love you. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tapping in. Any additional questions from me? No. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 214. Both of our readings. Tap back in, you and me. Okay. Good night. Love y'all. Sleep well, okay? In the morning. Well, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday's in the evening time. So good night.